Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, we will read a very interesting poem of class 8, Macavity the Mystery Cat by T.S. Eliot. In this poem, the poet has created a very mysterious, interesting and humorous character of Macavity. Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, we will read and understand a very interesting poem of class 8, Macavity the Mystery Cat by T.S. Eliot. In this poem, the poet has created a very mysterious, interesting and humorous character of Macavity the Mystery Cat. Read and understand the poem and then let me know, who do you think is Macavity? Macavity is a mystery cat. He is called the Hidden Paw, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. Defy means disobey. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard. Bafflement is embarrassment, bewilderment. Scotland Yard is the headquarters of London Police Force. The Flying Squad's despair. Flying Squad is a group of police or soldiers who are ready to move into action. Despair means disappointment. For when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. The poet says that Macavity is a very mysterious cat. He is master criminal who does not obey law at all. Macavity is also called Hidden Paw because whenever Macavity commits a crime, the marks of his footprints, his paws, are never found there, as if Macavity's paws were hidden or he has just flown in the air. He also embarrasses the police force, the Scotland Yard, and whenever there is a crime and the flying squads reaches the scene of crime, they are disappointed because they can never catch Macavity. So Macavity is a mysterious cat. It's a master criminal. He does not obey law. He embarrasses the police force also. He's never at the scene of crime. Let's see the figure of speech used in this stanza. In the first line, Macavity is a mystery cat. There is mer sound in the beginning of the words. So there is alliteration. So alliteration is a figure of speech in which consonant sounds are repeated in the beginning of words, closely placed words. Also in the whole poem there is personification because the cat has been described as a person in the entire poem. Personification is a figure of speech in which human characters are attributed to non-living things or animals. So there is personification. There is also exaggeration. Exaggeration is a figure of speech in which there is overstatement. For example, I died laughing. I have a mountain of clothes to wash. Obviously, nobody dies of laughing. Nobody washes a mountain of clothes. So these are overstatement. So in the line, he is bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair. The activities of Macavity has been overstated. So there is exaggeration here. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation. Levitation is floating in air without support. Would make a fakir stare. And when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. The poet further says that there is nobody like Macavity. He can even break the human law. He has even broken the law of gravity. What is law of gravity? That everything falls down, everything sticks to the ground. But Macavity has broken that law also because his footprints are never found, as if he has been flying in the air. He has the power of levitation. He has the power of flying in the air without leaving his footprints. So his powers even make a fakir wonder what has happened. Has somebody just flown in the air? And when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity commits the crime but is never found there. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. So you can seek Macavity, you can try to find Macavity everywhere, you can look everywhere in the basement, in the air, but the poet says that I will tell you again and again, Macavity is never at the scene of crime. Figure of speech in the first line, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. There is repetition because the word Macavity has been repeated. And in this line, his power of levitation. There is exaggeration because they say that Macavity breaks the law of gravity. Nobody can break the law of gravity. So there is exaggeration. Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly domed. Ginger means clever and wise. Now in this stanza, the poet has described the physical attributes of Macavity. The poet describes Macavity as a very clever and wise cat. Physically, he is very tall and thin. And you would recognize Macavity if you see him because his eyes are gone in. His eyes are sunken in because he has been thinking a lot. Probably he has dark circles around his eyes. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His forehead is also wrinkled because he has been thinking a lot. So there has been lines on his forehead. And his head is also the shape of dome. His head is highly domed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake. And when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. Macavity does not keep himself clean. His coat is soiled. It is dusty. Macavity has neglected it. And his whiskers are also uncombed. They are also not clean. His coat is dusty. His whiskers are uncombed. And his movement is like that of a snake. He wiggles. He moves his head from side to side as a snake wiggling. And when you think that Macavity is sleeping, Macavity never sleeps. Macavity is actually wide awake because Macavity is always alert. Here in this line, his head is highly, there is her sound, hence alliteration. Also his movement are compared to the movement of snake using the word like, so there is simile. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity, for he is a fiend in a feline shape, a monster of depravity. Fiend means devil, feline means related to the family of cat, and depravity means moral corruption. The poet further says that there is nobody like Macavity because he is actually a devil in the form of cat and he is morally completely corrupted. There is no moral value in Macavity. You may meet him in a by street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime is discovered, then Macavity is not there. So you can find Macavity on normal days anywhere walking by the street or at the square. But whenever there is a crime which is committed by Macavity, you will search for him, but you will never find Macavity. So Macavity is a master criminal who is never caught, who is never found at the scene of crime. In the first line, there is Macavity word is repeated, so there is repetition. Fiend in feline, first sound is repeated, so there is alliteration. And also exaggeration. In the line, a fiend in feline shape, a monster of depravity. Macavity has been called devil and monster for the activities that he conducts. So who do you think, children, Macavity is? Is Macavity actually a cat, or is Macavity actually a master criminal who is never caught, who is never found at the scene of crime? Do let me know your thoughts. Now we will see the question answers. I have done the question answers for you. You can pause the video and go through the question answers. I would like you to attempt these question answers first and then cross-check them. So this was the interesting poem, humorous poem, Macavity the Mystery Cat. I will see you in my next video next time. Till then, take care. Bye bye children.